Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PL webinar session today. This is Shilpa Raut here. I look after the derivative desk in PL. Mostly who all have come here for this session, I'm sure you must have followed PL's derivative desk, the pattern of calls that we come across. So today's session, we will try to cover few very important indicators in derivatives that are helpful in open market to understand and discover few winning trades which are quick entry and quick exit. So in that regards, let's start a session quickly. So today's session, like the name suggests, discovering like winning trades using derivatives. So winning trades as in what? When you are in the market, you need to understand few indicators that can help you go live in the market and discover trends, discover direction of your particularly trade. If you are trading in stocks or indices, whatever, you need to understand those indicators so that you end up making a winning trade for the day. तो वी विल ट्राई डूइंग दिस जैसे कि मैंने अभी बोला कि ये सेशन इज अबाउट ये हम लोगों को कैसे पता चलेगा यूजिंग सम डेरिवेटिव इंडिकेटर्स दैट हेल्प्स अस जो हमको हेल्प करेगा इन टेकिंग आउट और पिकिंग आउट राइट स्टॉक्स in live market to make a profitable day, not losing out. So in derivatives, as we all know, that there are many indicators that we follow that helps us, because derivatives is all about richness of data in the sense matlab we have many data that one can analyze in live market. You don't have to see previous data as well. During live market also, if you just follow those indicators, you can always understand what is the right thing. Session is not going to be of more of theory. It is going to be about more of practical reading that we have to do in the live market. We don't have to go for, of course I will cover theory because I know there are many people who are new to derivatives here as well. So indicators का brief I will let you know. मैं समझाऊंगी indicators, brief indicators जो काम में आएगा आपको लाइव मार्केट में. So I will do that. उसके बाद we will try to read live data, not we'll not go theory wise. Even we'll do one thing, we'll try to analyze any stock pick of from your end after the session, so that to understand, let's say आपके दिमाग में कोई stock है or any query you have regarding any of your stock pick, we can always do, we can go to the reading after the session. Okay. uh, so starting now, what is derivatives? Derivatives, as we all know, it is a financial instrument only. It is derived from underlying can be your cash, it can be gold, it can be forex, it can be any underlying. On basis of that underlying, derivatives is derived. So many people in stock market, they must have heard cash and derivatives. So we need to know what is cash and what is derivatives precisely. In that market, difference between cash. So when you are dealing in cash market, आप जब भी cash market में काम करते हो तो आपको 100% payment चाहिए for buying any stock. If you're buying one stock also, you need 100% payment. If you're buying 1,000 shares also, then also you need 100% payment. But in derivatives, you don't need that. Derivatives, you need only 20% of the entire margin that was supposed to be used in cash to participate in the market. Derivatives में आपको सिर्फ if you आपके पास 20 या 30% का margin भी है, then also आप participate कर सकते हो fully in market. Unlike cash में आपको पूरा margin चाहिए. In cash you require complete margin to participate in the market, but in derivatives you require hardly 20 to 30% of the cash margin. Cash में benefit is what? Ownership remains with you till you don't square off the positions. उसमें क्या होता है कैश में, आपके पास आप कोई स्टॉक अगर लेते हो तो उसमें क्या होता है, आप का ओनरशिप आप ही के पास रहता है जब तक आप उसको बेचते नहीं हो. So in cash, when you buy any stock, n number of stocks, n number of shares of a particular stock, it remains with you until and unless you square off the positions. But in derivatives, it is not likewise. Derivatives, we have some, expiry contract months. I'm sure everybody must have heard about expiry contracts having. So it is like that. So in derivatives, what happens that, you have a monthly contract, and there is an expiry of this contract. That expiry happens on every Thursday, last Thursday of the month. So in that case, the ownership lies with you till that expiry, the last Thursday of the month, or till you square off the positions. डेरिवेटिव्स में आपके पास वो स्टॉक या शेयर आपके पास तब तक रहता है जब तक आप उसको स्क्वायर ऑफ नहीं करते हो, या फिर लास्ट थर्सडे ऑफ द मंथ जो एक्सपायरी होता है तब तक आपके पास ये ओनरशिप रहता है. Cash में you can buy 1 share, 2 share, 100 shares, but derivatives you have to buy in lots. Derivatives doesn't come in single share, it comes in lots. Like, Reliance 505 shares includes one lot. So if you're participating in derivatives in Reliance, then you have to buy one lot, that is 505 shares. But cash में आपके पास जितना आपके पास कैपिटल है उसके हिसाब से आप बाय कर सकते हो, 1 शेयर, 2 शेयर या 500 शेयर या 1000 शेयर या 5000 शेयर, वो आप पे डिपेंडेंट है. Cash is completely free of, the limitation of buying the number of shares. You can buy any number of shares. Unlike derivatives, you have to buy in lots. So this is a basic difference between cash and derivatives. Derivatives में expiry month होता है, expiry रहता है, ownership has to be with you until you square up the position or you wait till your expiry happens. Margin requirement is very less in comparison to cash, which is why this is a leverage product. And you cannot buy any odd quantity. You have to buy in lots. Pre-decided lots are there for every stock in FNO, futures and options. You have to buy. But cash, it is completely the otherwise. Number of shares depends on you, 1, 2, 100,000 completely. And the ownership remains with you till you don't decide to square off. Until then that, it is completely under your control. So now, इन फ्यूचर्स लाइक वी हैव, अभी मैंने आपको समझाया फ्यूचर्स क्या होता है, कैश क्या होता है. रिलायंस में अगर आपको लेना है तो फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में आपको 505 का एक लॉट होता है जो आपको लेना पड़ेगा. बट इन सो apart from that, financial derivatives may, it is also about options, futures and options. Like we have said, what is about futures, everybody mostly knows what is future now. So we'll go ahead and we'll also understand what is options. What are options? Options is again a financial derivative derived, and it is even a more leveraged product than futures. Because अगर आपको कैश में 100% मार्जिन चाहिए, फ्यूचर में उसका 20% चाहिए, तो अगर आप ऑप्शन में ट्रेड करोगे तो शायद आपको फ्यूचर के 20% में से भी 20% लगे, और उसमें भी आप पूरा पार्टिसिपेट करते हो मार्केट में. In options is again a very leveraged product. It is even more leveraged than the futures, because in futures, if you hardly have to have 20% of the cash margin to participate in the market, in options you require even 20% of that 20% of the future to participate in the option market, and you are completely, fully involved in the market. Options also comes with futures likewise. Futures and options both have expiry, both have same what do I say, the lot sizes. So futures and options, they both work together, same lot size, same expiry. But यहाँ पे is a problem with option is that what option premium, that we pay to participate in the market is very low, no doubt. But as and when we come closer to the expiry, a premium start eroding. So that is one demerit to option. So in option there are two types, mainly call and put. Call, option buyer and option seller. So option buyer are who pay the premium. जैसे अगर मैंने आपको बोला कि रिलायंस का अगर 505 का लॉट साइज है, एक लॉट का, एंड द प्राइस कोटिंग नाउ इज 2100, तो उसके हिसाब से आपको पे करना पड़ेगा इन फ्यूचर टू पार्टिसिपेट. बट इन ऑप्शंस if you say, let's say 2100 का आप strike price choose करोगे call, अगर आप bullish हो, तो उसमें अगर 505 मतलब लेट्स से 60 रुपीज का अगर वो प्रीमियम अभी चल रहा है, तो 16 to 500 रफली 30,000 अगर आपके पास है, तो आप रिलायंस में पूरा पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हो. So option buyer is the person who pays the premium. Like I said, in Reliance, if you're participating in futures, you have to buy one lot, which is 505 shares into, the price quoting at 2100 plus now, 2150 now. So in that regards, what happens, the margin requirement, whatever it is decided, you have to participate paying that, 20% margin. But in premium option, what is required is, even with one lot size of Reliance, if you want, if it is quoting at 2150 now, and you are bullish or you are bearish, whatever is your stance with Reliance, you decide to pick 2100 strike. So and the premium may be quoting 2100 call right now would be 60. So 60 into 500 roughly it's 30,000. If you have 30,000, you can participate in options as well. In the same place in futures, but if you're participating, you need to have at least 1 lakh plus with the intraday margin that is required to participate. So but the only problem with the options is that with time it starts premium erosion starts happening, which means that of course we'll cover this on coming session. So option buyers are who pay the premium, like I was saying, 60 rupees premium for 2100 call strike for Reliance. So that is the person who buys is the option buyer. So benefit is what, whatever we pay is the only risk. The 30,000 that I was supposed to invest in Reliance now for 2100 call strike at 60 rupees is my limited risk. The max, no matter where Reliance goes, jitna bhi niche aaye, how, no matter how down it goes or wherever the position may be, I will only lose that 30,000. And if it goes according to my view, according to my direction, then I will earn much more than that. So this is the benefit if you're an option buyer. Likewise, you can always, like in future, you can sell futures, you can also sell options. But option sellers are always at the risk side. You have this what happens when you are an option seller, the premium that you were supposed to pay to be a buyer, you become a seller and you receive that premium to your credit. That means 30,000 you would be getting for Reliance 2100 call strike. In that case, this is the maximum profit you can have if it goes as per your view. If it doesn't, then you have an unlimited loss scenario. So option sellers are always the risk takers. So everybody clear on hearing what is options. Mainly we have two types of, one are call and one is call option and one is put options, and participants are option buyers and option sellers. Option buyers are people who buy paying the premium. They have limited risk exposure and unlimited profit scenario. Option seller, they are the person who receive premium, but they have limited profit and unlimited risk scenario. So like I said, before proceeding ahead, we need to know few terminologies, because once we start understanding the option chain, we need to understand all these language, this jargons. Like somebody was asking me to help that person with the jargons. So here it is. Option price. What is option price? We come across hearing this word a lot. Strike price, option price. I was also telling you strike price, like Reliance 2100 strike price. So what is that? Option price is something, it is the price which the option buyer pays to the option seller. So it is the option premium. Suppose I am a buyer and I am X and Mr. Y is a seller. So if I have to buy Reliance 2100 call and Mr. Y has that, so I will pay my premium to him, and I will get the stock in my possession. So he's the option seller, I'm the option buyer, and the premium, that the money that I pay is the option premium. Strike price is what? It is again a predetermined level at which a specific derivative contract can be bought or sold. Like I said, Reliance. So Reliance, quoting at 2150. So if you go to option chain of Reliance, which I'll also show you in coming slides. There are many strikes: 2000, 2020, 2040 to 2060, 2080, 2100. Every 20 rupees gap in Reliance, you have a strike. So that is what is in strike price. So I'll just quickly show someone also what is that. So this, if everybody's seeing, see, this is the option chain. I will completely make you understand this thing later coming in coming slides. I'm just explaining what is the option strike price. So these are the strike price. This is Nifty chart for option chain. So you can, if you can see Nifty quoting at 11,200 roughly now. So we have, every 50 gap we have Nifty strikes. So these are strike prices. So, like I said, I've shown you what is strike price. I'm sure everybody must have got the hang. Okay. So, अगर अभी अभी मैंने आपको दिखाया what are strike prices. If you have seen that, आपको समझ में आ गया होगा what are strike prices. ऑप्शन में जैसे मैंने बताया, देर आर टू पार्टिसिपेंट्स, एक कॉल ऑप्शन होता है, एक पुट ऑप्शन होता है. सो व्हेन यू आर बाइंग अ कॉल ऑप्शन और सेलिंग अ पुट ऑप्शन, आपका व्यू होता है बुलिश. दैट मीन्स यू आर बुलिश ऑन योर व्यू इफ यू आर बाइंग अ कॉल ऑप्शन और यू आर सेलिंग अ पुट ऑप्शन. बिकॉज कॉल ऑप्शन जो बाय करते हैं दैट मीन्स यू आर बुलिश एंड पुट ऑप्शंस बायर्स आर बियरिश. तो if you are buying a call option or you are selling a put option, that means it is a bullish stance. And likewise, अगर आप sell करते हो call option or if you're buying a put option, that means you are having a bearish stand. Because call option buy करने का मतलब हम लोग bearish होते हैं, put option buy करना मतलब we are bearish. So if we are doing the reverse now, let's say we are selling a call option and we are buying a put option, that means we are bearish in a stance. So this is two ways of participating in options if you have your view bullish or bearish. Any query till now? Whatever I've explained, is everybody understanding? So that even I proceed forward. Thank you. I'm listening lots of yes. So thank you. If any query, please do let me know. We'll definitely discuss in details. Okay. So again, few of the terminologies, an option chain. Like I was saying, time value. Like I was saying that when you're paying an option, you're participating in option, you have a demerit that when you're closer to the expiry, your premium starts erosion. That means, that option is negative to time that which is theta. So it is a very important thing. मतलब आप अगर ऑप्शन में पार्टिसिपेट करते हो तो आपको मैंने जैसे समझाया कि आपको प्रीमियम आप जो भी पे करते हो उसका मतलब मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट बहुत कम होता है, लेकिन उसमें सबसे बड़ा डीमेरिट ये होता है कि आप जब जितना पास आप चल एक्सपायरी के आते हो तो वो प्रीमियम आपका कम हो जाता है, इरोड होता है. विच मीन्स कि ऑप्शन पार्टिसिपेशन में आपको टाइम का बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस होगा. तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड आप कौन से टाइम पे ऑप्शन में एंटर कर रहे हो, कितना क्लोज एक्सपायरी है, या फिर आपका व्यू कितना स्ट्रांग है. सो व्हेन यू आर पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन ऑप्शंस, वन थिंग हैज टू बी mandatorily kept in mind, that you need to understand at what time frame you are entering into the option trade, what is your view, how strong is your view, because option will only give you profits if your view is very strong and you have quick movement, so that time value erosion doesn't affect your premium. So a, a few terminologies like ITM, OTM, ATM. We all come across ITM, OTM, and ATM. This stance, ITM is what? In an option chain, I'll again show you what are ITM. So this is a classic option chain page that is available in NSE. I'll also tell you how to go and see this. In this, what happens? Like you said, these are the call options, these are the put options. Like we discussed, two buyers, put options and call options. So the highlighted area, ये जो आप highlighted area देख रहे हो, call side में यहाँ पे और put side में यहाँ पे. So this is the in the money, that is ITM strikes. मतलब आईटीएम क्या होता है, जैसे निफ्टी अभी 11,200 है, तो 11,200 के नीचे जितने भी स्ट्राइक्स हैं, ये कॉल ऑप्शन वालों के लिए आईटीएम है. any all the strike prices below 11,200, because nifty trading at 11,200 now, below, and all the strikes below 11,200 are, ITM for call buyers, call option buyers, and the reverse happens in put. I mean, जो ITM call के लिए है, वो उसका opposite होता है input. और ये अभी, और बाकी 11,200 के ऊपर in call options all are, OTM. So that is reverse inputs. So what is ITM and OTM? ITM is nothing. The strike price जो चल रहा है, current strike price in the market, उसके नीचे के strike ITM होते हैं call option के लिए, और उसके ऊपर के strikes ITM होते हैं put option के लिए. ITM call options are what? The strike price, that is the current market price, what is happening, what is there in live. Below every strike from that price are the ITM for call options, and the opposite and the reverse in put options. All the spot prices, the strike prices that are above the spot price are the ITM put options. So it's always the opposite. ITM call, I mean call option or put option influences हमेशा reverse होता है, उल्टा रहता है. OTM is what, like I showed you what is ITM, what is OTM. So it is again the reverse, and ATM is what, एकदम वो strike price जो होता है close to the spot price. Let's say Nifty 11,190.80 है, तो 11,200 is likely our ATM. Any query on this? Because all this will be, very much, used now. Okay. So now this, we've covered basic theories. Now we have come to indicators in derivatives. So this is something that, I'll cover only a couple of indicators that is, required to participate in live market. So one very important indicator in derivatives is open interest. Open interest, we have heard a lot. OI भी बोलते हैं हम लोग इसको, OI बढ़ रहा है, OI कम हो रहा है. So what is open interest? Open interest is the number of contracts that are currently held. I mean, as the name suggests, जैसा नाम suggest करता है open interest, it means that, the number of contracts that are open, in the market. So open interest is very, very important to understand and to, read carefully, because it is live data that happens, and you can always have that also on your screen live. You will always, be in, it will always be in your benefit, because if you know where the interest of the participants in your trade is happening. Suppose you are buyer in Reliance and you want to know, okay, how is the trade happening, and if you see the OI and you understand that, if more participants are building up positions on the highest side, on the long side, then, you are also into the same zone. But let's say if you have managed to understand OI, and you know that the participants are more into the, bearish side now, so then it's a cautious move for you. So open interest is very important, because it tells you the number of open contracts that are, active now. ओपन इंटरेस्ट एक्टिव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स जितने होते हैं आपके पास अब मार्केट में लाइव, वो बताता है. तो इट इज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज आपको समझ में आ जाता है कि इंटरेस्ट कहाँ पे है लोगों का, ताकि आप भी उसी डायरेक्शन में अपना ट्रेड सेटअप कर पाओ. OI, like I said, it's number of active contracts, and it can increase, it can decrease. जैसे OI एक्टिव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से बढ़ भी सकता है, ऐड भी हो सकते हैं, या फिर जो ओपन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स वाइंड अप हो रहे हैं वो क्लोज भी होता है, तो वो डिक्रीज भी हो सकता है. सो OI कैन इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज. तो डिफरेंस क्या है OI वॉल्यूम में? OI अगर नंबर ऑफ करेंटली एक्टिव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स का देता है नंबर, वॉल्यूम इंडिकेट्स द एंटायर टोटल ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. मतलब जैसे OI में वन बायर एंड वन सेलर, दे मेक वन ओपन इंटरेस्ट, बट वहां पे वॉल्यूम क्या हो जाएगा, एक बायर भी है एक सेलर भी है, तो हम लोग को वॉल्यूम दो मिलता है. तो वॉल्यूम इज ऑलवेज ऑलवेज ऑन द हायर साइड, इट कैन नेवर रिड्यूस, क्योंकि जो भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट चाहे बाइंग हो या सेलिंग हो ऐड होते रहेगा, वो वॉल्यूम में नंबर बढ़ते रहेगा. लेकिन ओपन इंटरेस्ट को काउंट करने के लिए यू ऑलवेज हैव टू हैव वन बायर और एक वन सेलर. वन बायर एंड वन सेलर मेक वन ओपन इंटरेस्ट. So this is one major difference between open interest and volume, which people always, get confused with, and it is very important. So this is a very important thing that we need to understand. A very high OI, अगर कोई भी open interest बहुत ज़्यादा है in a bull market, मान लीजिए जैसे अभी बुल मार्केट वापस चल रहा है, और कहीं पे भी अगर हम लोग देखें कि बहुत अनयूजुअली हाई OI, तो it is a very worrisome signal. Because open interest in a high train agar girne lage, that means that the stock will have a reverse gear them. So it is one important note thing. Please do make sure you understand this, and if you have any query, we'll again address this. OI in a bull market, a very high OI, is always a worrisome thing, because if it starts falling suddenly, then we get into the bear grip. ये उल्टा reversal हो जाता है. Okay, so how do we understand open interest? Like we have said, this chart will help you a lot. See, OI if increasing, it is positive, price is rising or positive. So what action actually we should take, and what is our outlook? We have a bullish outlook, and that means we are having long build up. If OI is positive but price is falling or it is negative, that means that we have having a short built up position and the view is bearish. If OI is shedding, I mean negative, let's say, and price is positive, but so in that case, what happens? You are into the short covering position. So short coverings are what basically it means that people are winding up their positions, whatever fresh contracts they have, whatever contracts they had, वो उसको वाइंड अप करें, कोई फ्रेश कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स नहीं ले रहे हैं, तो जिसका मतलब है दैट यहाँ पे साइड वेज मूवमेंट आ सकता है, बिकॉज वहां पे कुछ फ्रेश एडिशंस हो नहीं रहे हैं, जो थे वो उसको ही कवर कर रहे हैं. And if OI is negative and the price is also negative, that means it is long unwinding. And long unwind is always, the last leg of any stock. हम लोग बोलते हैं, kind of a climax situation. मतलब यहाँ से trend usually और मतलब new low पे जाता है, या फिर breaks more supports. But कभी-कभी it also changes the trend. So that is why we name it as climax. So we need to understand कि उसके बाद क्या होता है. One thing is that this two stages are very clear and mostly everybody can understand, and you will have a good trade if you can pick this two. But more important is, of course, it is very difficult for a lay person to understand, but for people who are into derivatives and they understand these two stages, the short covering and long unwinding stages. These stages are very important, because if you are able to understand these two stages in any stock, you have a broader margin of profit. Matlab, if you know that a stock is into the long unwinding, and if you can make it out, if whether it's going to make a new low or it is going to change a trend, so imagine the kind of profitability you will have, jahan pe plain bearish या plain bullish trend पे अगर आप जाओ, let's say यहाँ से Reliance, हम सबको पता है Reliance थोड़ा bullish ही है, तो लेकिन सबको अभी ऐसा ही लगता है ना, everybody is taking Reliance is bullish, but everybody also is thinking how far more, but it is bullish, so you will always have a bullish play now. But 20 rupees, 30 rupees, you will have. But let's say any other stock, let's say we pick up MGL or something which has broken down immensely, and it is into this long unwinding stage. We need to understand कि support तोड़ के और नीचे जाने वाला है, कि यहाँ से trend reversal bounce लेके it will come to highs. So you have a different margin, you have a more scope to make your profits more profitable. So this is a very important thing. So anything that anybody wants to ask on this? No, this is not EOD price closing. Whenever you are making a trade, because today's session, it's more about, what I'm trying to make you people understand, how to use this indicator, this particular OI indicator, to have winning intraday trades. तो इसमें EOD का कोई मतलब नहीं है. Whenever you are participating in market, you have to have this indicator always on your mind. Okay, somebody is asking me about OI shedding or negative. So जैसे मैंने बोला, OI can decrease and increase. So if OI is on the negative side and price is also on the negative side, that means that stock is reaching the climax. I mean, it may break to new lows, or it may show a reversal from here and go to the profitable side. So this is the meaning of long unwinding. Any other query? I will share all the examples of the stages. I'm just making the theory little understanding. There are few people who know this concepts, but there are also many people who don't. So I'm just trying to help them also to understand, so that when I show live trades and examples, you can understand. So rollovers are what? Rollovers are, of course, we have heard about this thing a lot. Rollovers are nothing but, when one contract is about to expire, let's say हम लोग का अभी जैसे July contract is going to expire now, we will be moving to August contract. So the number of positions who, let's say, somebody is bullish on HDFC Bank, and if they want to go ahead with the same view in the next contract as well, we can always they roll over the positions. So rollover is a very important tool for derivatives to understand. In the start of the series month, I mean new series के start में rollover data बहुत काम में आता है, because हमको समझ में आता है कि maximum participation और interest हर stock में किस साइड में है, चाहे वो अप साइड में है या डाउन साइड में, तो आपको समझ में आ जाता है कि आपको ट्रेड वो महीने के लिए कैसे पोजीशन करना है. Rollovers plays a very important role because in the initial start of the new series, because it helps you understand the stock participation, either it is on the long side or on the bearish side, so that you place your trades accordingly. So how do we roll, and how do we infer good rollover or bad rollover? Whenever rollovers are above 85%, we usually take it as a strong one, and if it is below 40%, we take it as a weak one. So inferences क्या होता है? High rollover है, price action, I mean higher rollover and higher price action, it suggests that the strength would continue in that particular. Let's say Reliance, if everybody, we see that in August we have 90% rollovers, and the price is also on the top side. So which means that maybe August series will again see Reliance continuing with the bullish trend. And if the rollovers are high but negative price action hai, which means that the weakness would continue. There are many stocks. Let's say a stock like NCC. If we see that the rollovers are very high, above 90%, but price is falling, that means probably in August series we'll see that NCC struggling. So this is how rollovers are interpreted. So it is a very detailed study, of course, but just to understand, because whoever does I mean derivatives trades in the start of the series for 1 week or so, you will keep hearing this word rollover. So always remember, if you have any rollover data with you, or if you want to ask anybody about rollovers of that particular stock, always ask what's the percentage of rollover and what's with the price, so that you can understand आपको कैसे आगे करना है. Is clear? Is this concept clear rollover? So that we move forward and we'll have the live data now. Okay, one another very important indicator in live market, it is put call ratio. Put call ratio. I'm getting a lot of questions, about how do we get the rollover data and how do we see the OY. So OY, everything I will now show you. This is just the theory concepts, the name that you have just everybody just those who know just refresh it, and those who don't know just understand it, so that जब भी मैं अभी आपको दिखाऊं कहाँ से आपको OI देखना है, कहाँ से आपको समझना है कि आपको ट्रेड में एंटर करना है कि नहीं, तो आपको ये ना ये दिस PCR दिस OI आपको थोड़ा इंडिफरेंट नहीं लगे, आपको समझ में आ जाए, यू अंडरस्टैंड. Intraday में rollover is not important at all. It is only important when the new series start. Let's say अभी अगस्त series start होगा. You need to have rollover data with you to understand if you are placing your bets right or not. Rollover is always important for the first week of the new expiry. But this put call ratio, so put call ratio is a very important indicator with OI to understand live data also. In live market, it helps you a lot to understand where is the resistance, where is the support for your strong stock. वो भी option chain के page में ही दिखता है. तो PCR is very important. हमको समझ में आ जाता है कि हम लोगों का स्टॉक कहाँ पे है, सपोर्ट कहाँ पे लेने वाला है और रेजिस्टेंस कहाँ पे होने वाला है. Yes, Mr. Mohsin, you are asking about rollover. It's only first week of importance it holds, because uske baad then fresh contracts get started, and the direction can change always. So quickly coming to the context, PCR, the put call ratio, it is very important to understanding live market, because it helps you understand where's the resistance and the support for your stock. So how do we see PCR? And always remember this, a PCR of 80. I mean, the higher the PCR, it means that, we have a strong stance. So where do we see PCR? PCR is what? Let's say this is the option chain. Please everybody follow. This is the option chain. This is the call side and this is the put side. So PCR is what? Pick any strike. Let's say 11,200 strike I'm picking now. So PCR, I will calculate how. It is the number of put contracts. This is the number, total number of put contract. If you can see this OI column, ये आप OI column देख रहे हो ना, आपको PCR कैसे calculate करना है? ये put side का OI end में, this let's say 11,200 strike का, this is the total OI for put and this is the total OI for call. So PCR is calculated how? Total number of put contracts divided by total number of call contracts. This is how the PCR is calculated. So for 11,200 strike, if I divide 14 lakh shares divided by 30 lakh shares, so roughly my PCR would be what? 0.5. So likewise, if I want to calculate 11,100 PCR, can anybody tell me what would be the likely PCR for 11,100? 11,100 put PCR is 22 lakhs and 11,100 call, sorry, 11,100 put side OI is 22 lakhs and PCR on the call side is 14 lakhs. So can you just tell me? Yes, roughly 1.5. Yes, correct. So you have got it. So now how do we infer what is good PCR and what is weak PCR? In PCR, please to remember, whenever it is above 1.5, wherever the PCR is above 1.5, that strike is always your support. That means agar 11,100 mein we are getting this PCR of 1.5, that means Nifty support is coming at 11,100. Likewise, if you are talking about 11,200, तो अपना PCR आया 0.5. PCR for 11,200 is 0.5, which means that it is below 1. So it is the resistance. So PCR, how do we infer PCR data? Whenever it is above 1.5, it is a support, and whenever it is below 0.7, it is a resistance. That strike will act as a resistance if it is below 0.7, and wherever the strikes are above 1.5, that's our support. So here in Nifty we can see 11,100 PCR is 1.5 and 11,200 PCR is 0.5. That means 11,100 is the support and 11,200 is going to likely to act as a resistance. And it always helps you in intraday. It's not for positional bets. It's only intraday if you're doing, and if you're actually making your trade live and you are entering. Now let's say it's 11 o'clock and it's a trading day and I want to enter into Nifty, and this is the page I see. So what I would see that 11,100 is going to act as my support and 11,200 is going to act as my resistance. Nifty was quoting at 11,160, let's say. So what will I do? So I know it will max go to 11,200 and it can fall to 11,100 level. So accordingly I will place my bet. Is this understandable? इसमें कोई doubt है? Yes, this ratio always works for a support. This works as a immediate support and resistance. जैसे मैंने बोला, it's not for positional bets. It's only when you are going live for your trades. अभी के अभी आपने trade डाला है, you are just live into your trade and you want to see where is the immediate resistance and immediate support. PCR helps you a lot. If you want to have a positional, if you want to have the positional, maybe a longer support and resistance. So like we were discussing OI, open interest, we have shared. So when you open this page now in Nifty, let's say this option chain, I'll show you how to get this page in NSE as well. So when you open and get this option chain, let me tell you, this is what are the columns. We have OI columns, we have change in OI columns. So OI columns is what? It is the total number of active contracts. Let's say in 11,200 we have more than 30 lakhs of open contracts lying. I mean one buyer and one seller makes it to one OI. So let's say we have 30 lakhs of open contracts now. And change in OI what? So for the fresh day, we are seeing that this many contracts has been added. After 30 lakhs, 10 lakhs were added only the same day. That means, 30% volume has been added here as well, which means that 11,200 is a, very active strike here. So in that regards, what we do in OI, when you see the maximum, built up where you see, let's say, can anybody tell me the maximum OI built up in call side is in which strike? 11,500, right? Not 11,200. If you can see, 11,500 has the maximum open interest, 37 lakhs. After that, we have 11,200. And same ways, can anybody tell me, put side, where is the maximum open interest lying? Correct, 11,000. So when you are deeming, when you are trying to understand OI, for a little broader, longer view, let's say entire day or maybe a couple of days. So what happens, where the maximum open interest, either it is in the call side or in the put side, where which strikes holds the maximum OI, in call side that becomes the resistance, and in the put side that becomes the support. So 11,000 on a longer view, on a long term view for Nifty will act as our support, and 11,500 on the long term view in Nifty will act as a resistance. So is this also understandable? Can you just, everybody say if this is clear? Call side, highest open interest act as the resistance. Put side, highest open interest acts as the support. So this is also very important, for anybody having little basic knowledge also you can understand. Let's say, so we can always have this quick, just one quick question. Let me tell you, ask you one thing. Let's say Nifty is trading at 11,180 now. So if I ask you to have a long term view for Nifty now, so what would be your trade be now? So can you tell me what would be your stop loss and what would be your target? Correct. Buy stop loss with 11,000. Correct. So I'm target is 11,500. Perfect. So I'm very happy that everybody's following what we need to do. So these are little for the long term view. And if I ask you for intraday, immediately what should be your target and stop loss? Let's say this is the page and you are dead intraday. So what should be your target? Correct. 11,200 can be a target, and what would be a stop loss? 11, no, not 11,000, 11,100. Correct. Because can anybody tell me why intraday we are saying this? Second highest OI, one reason good enough? Yes. No, but the reason is because PCR. We just calculated PCR, and above 1.5 it is 11,100, and below 0.7 is 11,200. So PCR helps you give the immediate support and resistance, for your quick trades. So that is a very, very important tool. So I hope everybody understood the difference also between OI and PCR and how to utilize that. In this case, if Nifty immediate target is 11,200, if it sustains above 11,200, then our next target straight goes to 11,500. But our immediate stop loss is 11,100. Below that, for a longer, little bigger stop loss, 11,000. Okay, how do you get PCR ratio, sir? Okay, I'll tell you again. PCR ratio is nothing but the total number of put contracts divided by total number of call contracts. Put contracts here, it's the total OI. Let's say for 11,200 strike, this is the total number of put contracts, and 11,200, the total number of call contracts is 30,000. So you divide this, you get your PCR ratio. Okay, somebody is asking why am I saying 11,500 after 11,200? So because it is like we said, PCR is 11,200. This is a resistance, right? Above 11,200, we have the next maximum OI. Like we said, second highest OI, correct? That was one reason why our first target is that. Second highest OI is 11,500. That means that after 11,200, people are betting here on the 11,500 strike. So which means that we will see this strike as the next resistance. So like I said, these are all open interests, sir. These are all open and live data that you keep on getting throughout the day. This page keeps on refreshing every minute in NSE site. So, and this tells you, the live interest of the participants. So these are not only numbers, these are live participants are participating. So now you understand, so how it is important to understand derivative indicators to have a, winning trade, like the topic for our session today. So these two indicators helps a lot when you're dealing with derivatives. Is everybody clear with OI and PCR, so that I'll show you the live trades that I had taken yesterday to make you understand. Okay, let's go ahead. So now what I'll do is quickly skipping uh, the theory part to make you understand this particular, let's say you know these two indicators now, and you want to go ahead into the market from Monday, and you want to discover couple of trades that are important and that can help you, give you intraday quick entry and uh, quick exit. Okay, so okay, I'm just getting too many queries in between. Of course, I will answer every query, but even if I'm missing out, please have patience. You can always WhatsApp me. You have the contact number there. You can always WhatsApp me. On the personal window as well. I can always answer as many queries as possible. But right now, let's complete the session so that we all get the hang. Okay, so like I said, how do you see the OI and how do you see the option chain? So very simple. Please go to this site, nseindia.com. If you just type www.nseindia.com, you will have a new website that they have launched, but it is still, little different from the old website. I'm still comfortable with my old website, so I'm using this. So for this old website thing, it is www.nsc.com. Please go here. This sort of page will open, this sort of page. Like you can see, what we see here is Nifty rates are flashed here. These are spot prices. These are not this is not future price, this is spot price. And time is always there, and all everything is there. So what you need to do is, for OI to see where the OI maximum, how will you see in the live data, I mean live market, you just click here, live market. This sort of window will come up, and you see under live analysis you have this OI spurts. You just have to click this. So you go to NSE site, go to live markets, and filter OI spurts. So what happens is that you will get a page like this. It will open to this. So like you can say, I had taken this live screenshot. It was yesterday at 9:19. I had taken the screenshot. Market opened at 9:15. After a couple of minutes, when you see, there's a number of FNO stocks, all the stocks that, which are having a very high OI, active participation. So these are, the very aggressive OI participations that we were seeing. So this is the kind of screen you get. So from this you need to understand first 4 5 6 7 uh, what OI you need to pick. Let's say we have Escorts, Bajaj Finance, Reliance, Apollo Tyre, Nifty, Petronet, adding a positions very fast. So you need to pick any one, and you can always go ahead and check the OI. So what I did is, this is a software that I use. It is my FNO. We have it is little customized for us, so it is easy for us to use. But it doesn't make sense. You can always use this free thing in NSE also to understand where is the highest OI happening. So let's say at 9:18, 9:19, when I was opening my software, I had this sort of page for me. What happened, I just filtered some highest OI to some lowest OI. So you can see OI pages there. This is the symbol, I mean the stock names, price. This is the spot price, this is the future price, this is the price percentage difference, this is the OI. So this we get from my FNO CDF software. So what happens is that, this was the see, if you can see, I had taken the screenshot at 9:18 a.m. in the market. So this was my screen. So for this, my session, what I did, I picked up two bullish, two bearish, two short, some one short covering and some long unwinding stocks, because market was on the bull run. So I hardly got any, many long unwinding or many short covering stocks in at that moment. So what I did, I had Sun Pharma with highest, the highest open interest at that time was Reliance. So I took Reliance, and the highest price was Sun Pharma with also very good open interest. So I chose Sun Pharma, I chose Reliance as my bullish pick, and for my bearish pick I picked up Ujjivan, and for my long unwinding I picked up NCC and Federal Bank. Can anybody tell me how do we choose long unwinding and how do we choose short covering and bullish and bearish? Can anybody tell me long unwinding? How do we choose? What happens? How do we know this stock is into long unwinding? Can anybody tell me? When OI is negative and the price negative, that means it is long unwinding. When OI and short covering, when OI is negative, price and up. OI negative and price is up, that means it is short covering. Yes. So this is how, and bullish and bearish, of course, we all know. So in that regards, I chose few stocks. We can choose anybody, but for this section's, understanding, I chose few stocks. So let's go how. So 980, this was my screen. So let's see. I went to the option chain. So okay, so how do we go to the option chain? I will tell you. I need to. So what happens, this was the site, like I told you, opennseIndia.com, and you will have a filter here. When you just click this thing, you will get few filters: equity derivatives, commodity derivatives करके, and you can choose equity derivatives, and you need to write the company name. Let's say I chose Reliance. So when Reliance I choose, I will get a stock, I will get a page like this. So in that page, what happens? You have an option here like option chain. You need to click here. When you click that, you get the you get this page. Is everybody clear how to see option chain? Okay, very nice. Even if anybody has query, I will help you understand how to see this page. So 918, since I chose Reliance as my bullish pick, so I need to understand what is the option chain saying. So can anybody tell me where is the resistance for Reliance? Where was the resistance for Reliance at 918, and where was the support for Reliance at 918 a.m.? Yes, 2100 resistance. Yes, yes, correct. We had 2100 resistance and we had support at 1800, if you see on the longer term view. And Reliance was quoting close to 2100, of course. So that means our support is way down below and immediate resistance is here. And what is the OI and the current price suggesting us? Why is bullish Reliance a bullish pick? Because price is quoting at 1.4% up and OI is also up. That means we have a very perfect bullish page. Always one key factor to remember, whenever you are picking up such picks for intraday, this winning, this is a very very important thing. I practice myself to come out with winning trades. What I do is, I look after the stocks whose price are closely above, very close to 1.5% to 2%. I always choose those strikes, those stocks where the price in the morning movement is between 1 to 1.5% to 2%, because that means that stock has already gained up a trend, whether negative or whether positive, it is already into a trend. And if in that case also OI is supporting me, that means that trend is very very bullish. So for me, Reliance is a very very perfect bullish trend for me. If I was in there in yesterday in the market in the morning 9:18, I would have strained god with Reliance, because price is also in my supportive band, and even the even the OI. For me, Sun Pharma, though the price is 4% up and the OI is also up, it is a little, dicey stock for me. Why? Because intraday Nifty 50 stock, usually the pattern for, what happens is, a 4%, 5% move is considered a very good movement, right? So if you are already choosing a stock which is nearly 4% up, so it may gain 1 2%. It may nowadays 15%, 20% also we are getting, of course, but generally a 3 to 4% movement intraday is considered a very nice move for Nifty 50 stocks. So in that case, what happens, Sun Pharma would be a little dicey stock for me, but my bet would be more on Reliance. So I would have clearly gone with Reliance for as per my trades. Okay. Uh, okay, I'm getting too many queries. Let's just please finish this session and we'll definitely answer all the questions. So that is why I chose Ujjivan. Ujjivan is like between 1.5 to 2% my price band, and OI is also positive. So it is again a very good bearish pick for me. I would have picked as an analyst, as an individual, I would have picked Ujjivan. I would have also, could have also picked Bajaj Finance, not an issue, but somehow I chose Ujjivan. So this is how it happens. So we need to understand what was Reliance doing at 918. Like we'd see, our resistance is 2100 and support is way below. So what I need to do is, I will just have to wait for a few seconds or maybe a minute or two to understand whether the opening price and the current trading price is that having a very big gap, or is it actually going up constantly, or it is it has opened on the higher side and coming down. So there's a difference. If the stock has opened very high and and then coming down, then we can't bet on that. Or else is it that the open price and the day low, I mean the price lower there at that time is the same. So if it is, then it is a very very bullish stock for me. So Reliance was that. Reliance opened on the same note, from the time where it closed on the previous day. Thursday closing and Friday morning opening price were mostly same, and it was gaining with OI. So Reliance, though it is coming to my near resistance, but it is a bullish stock for me. So what I did, since Reliance was quoting at 2087 then, and the spot price was 2091, so I waited till 2100 to cross. So if it crosses 2100, immediately I would buy, without doubt. You can as well also just go with the trend, not an issue. It mostly gives you, very good profit and very quick profit. So Ujjivan at 918 was what? Can anybody tell me where is the support for Ujjivan and where is the resistance for Ujjivan? Correct. Correct. Mr. Bharat Singhal, volume at 9:18 a.m. is not a very important factor when you are looking into intraday trade. It's more about OI and price. Correct. So Ujjivan, what I knew is my I will have a resistance as 260, and if I go to my support, I will have had at 230. And Ujjivan was quoting at around 250 plus at that time, because the highlighted area is below 250, above 250 and here. So it was roughly around 250 to 253. That means my upside is very limited and my downside is very very open, and we have this as a bearish pick. So this is a very ideal situation where you can say that we can go straight away short with this. So this is the scenario for the bearish pick. I also chose, like I said, NCC as my long unwinding. If you can see here, NCC OI was negative, price was negative, and Federal Bank, like I chose, because these are the price bands that I know I follow. And I chose Federal Bank as my long unwinding. So I need to know how are and Federal Bank looking. Federal Bank, sorry, NCC, we also have a resistance at 33. If you see, sorry, 35, and the support lies at 25, and NCC was trading above 31. That means again we have limited upside, and downside is more open. So, and it is into this climax zone. So I just need to understand, wait for a while to see if it is falling below 31 now, or it is going up towards 32. If it is going above 31 to 32, that means I will touch 35, and if it is going below 31, that means I will likely touch 25. But remember, for a stock like NCC, you can't have such movement because lot size is huge. Every stock has its movement according to the lot size as well. So, but this is my very good chance to see where we will see NCC going. Okay. So, and Federal Bank is what? Let's see. Federal Bank also 918. Since it is my long unwinding, I need to know where is my resistance. My resistance is at 60 and my support is at 55, and stock is trading at around 56. So it is towards my support zone only. So I need to understand whether it is going to break this 55 now and go a long way to next OI of 50, or it is going to hold this 55 and come up to 60. So this is like I said, long unwinding. It is always into the climax scene. So we need to wait, we need to see what we can do. Yes, Mr. Pratik Mehta, we will discuss about IndusInd. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि अपना रेजिस्टेंस किधर है फेडरल बैंक में 60 में, और अपना सपोर्ट है 55 में. नेक्स्ट सपोर्ट अपने को दिख रहा है 50 में. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट हैपेंस, हम लोग को चेक करना है, क्योंकि लॉन्ग अनवाइंडिंग पिक हमने लिया हुआ है. लॉन्ग अनवाइंडिंग मतलब क्लाइमैक्स होता है, तो हमको ये देखना है कि हम लोग ये 55 तोड़ के नीचे 50 की तरफ जाने वाले हैं, या 55 को पकड़ के सपोर्ट लेके हम लोग 60 तक आएंगे. तो वी हैव टू वेट फॉर लॉन्ग अनवाइंडिंग. लेकिन अगर ये डायरेक्शन हमको समझ में आ जाएगा, तो यहाँ से हम लोगों को 5 रुपए नीचे या 5 रुपए ऊपर कहीं पे भी अपना अच्छा मूवमेंट मिलेगा. एंड माइंड यू, फेडरल बैंक का लॉट साइज इज ऑल्सो ह्यूज, सो यू हैव अ वेरी गुड support. Yes, so once it breaks 55, it will go down to 50. So let's see, 9:18 a.m. This is the screen for Federal Bank. Quickly coming to my short covering. I could only get one short covering, that time it was Cipla, because Cipla had negative OI and positive price. Price was 0.8% up and OI was negative 0.2. Very minimal, but this is the only thing we could get there. So Cipla, if you see, so anybody can tell me, what is my support? Of course, my resistance here is at 700. My support comes, at multiple levels. We have multiple supports built up. So, so Cipla, अगर यहाँ से सपोर्ट लेगा तो पहला सपोर्ट शायद 650 पे आए. उसके बाद we can also see support at 580, 600, and resistance we have of course at 700, but then 680 is also a very strong resistance. More than 8 lakh shares we have, and here we have nearly 10 lakh shares. So we need to understand, is Cipla crossing 680 to go towards 700, or it is breaking 680 70 to touching 650. So this 918, Cipla, Federal Bank and NCC are on my radar to see the price movement. So is everybody clear, how do we pick? Okay, how long we wait? It is a very good question and a very valid question, sir. We just need to wait, for a for a minute or two to understand, how the stock is moving. That's why I've taken, timely. मैंने time के साथ screenshot लिया हुआ है, ताकि हम लोग भी, as the day कैसे end हुआ है, we will understand in this session. So market now at 9:30 a.m. See, this is the changes that has happened. This changes we see. सन फार्मा स्टिल एट 3.9% अप, लेकिन ओआई बढ़ गया है, लेकिन प्राइस मूवमेंट बढ़ा नहीं है. और उज्जीवन उज्जीवन में इट वाज 1.2% डाउन, देन at 9:30 it is now 1.6% down and OI has increased. Reliance, like I said, हम लोग 1.2% up में थे, now it is 1.8% up, and OI has also increased from 2.7% to 4.8%. But in this screen, we have a very rise OI suddenly seeing in OI, जो पहले 918 में जब हमने लिया था स्क्रीन मुथूट का, अगर आप देखोगे, we didn't have this OI, we had only 1.7%, and the price was 0.6% up. And 9:30, when I'm seeing that same screen, I see OI increasingly very rapidly in Muthoot, and the price has moved from 0.5% to 2%. So this is again a very good candidate for me, 930 to choose to see if this stock can help me get any move. So what I need to do is that we need to see Muthoot at 930 option chain. What does we suggest? So this is the option chain for Muthoot at 930. When we witnessed that, it made a it increased OI very rapidly. So if you see, can anybody tell me where is my support? My support is at 1200. It is very low below, and we have the resistance as 1400. Muthoot was quoting at 1320, so it's literally midway, matlab halfway mein hi Muthoot is. So we need to understand Muthoot will make a come up to 1400, or it is not holding this 1320. So we saw after two, if we need to see the second highest OI is roughly around 1340 to 1360. So that means that these two will also act, as immediate resistance. So, we have resistance built up here. But यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे support सीधा जाके 1200 में है, तो which means that if Muthoot doesn't hold this levels particularly, that means that we can see a trend reversal. Because like I said, in a bull market, very high OI is a dangerous and a cautious move. We need to see rapidly OI increasing, and it is going into what direction. So let's see. And what happened, later, Muthoot was quoting at 1339 then, and it only made a high of 1345, and then it slided to 1300 zones. That means Muthoot didn't sustain above this 1340 zones. It went up, of course, because it was bullish. OI was bullish, and price was bullish. It went little up, but it didn't sustain, and it slided down to 1300 zones. So here we understand very high OI suddenly. It is a cautious thing to watch. Is everything clear now? If yes, then we'll proceed. Or any query we can discuss. Okay, thank you. Everybody is saying clear. I'm very glad that you people are understanding. I'm trying to uh, just trying to help you get a winning trade. So this is Muthoot. So now we saw what happened after 9:18 a.m. Our pick, we chose Sun Pharma, we chose Ujjivan, we chose Reliance, and we had chosen NCC, and we had chosen Federal Bank. NCC and Federal Bank, they have they were more on the downside now, but they have recovered a bit as comparison to our previous chart, because it was 2% down and Federal Bank won 1.8%. So at 9:30 now, NCC has recovered from 2% to only negative 1%. 1% it has recovered, and even Federal Bank has recovered 0.5%. So let's see, long unwinding is taking us where. And Cipla, it is completely same. It is still same price, and OI has started decreasing a bit, but very marginal. So we need to understand what happens next. So this is the scenario at 10:30. Let's say you had chosen your stock picks, and like I said, if I was in yesterday in the market, I would have completely gone for Reliance as a buy and Ujjivan as a sell. And for other stocks to monitor, let's see what happens till 9:30 to 10:30 am. So 9 Reliance 9:18 am, our price was up 1.4%, OI was up 2.7%. 9:30 price increased, OI increased. 10:30 price increased from 1.4 when we were supposed to enter to 4%. That means you had already gained roughly 2. And OI was still increasing and price was increasing. That means people are very bullish on Reliance. So as an intraday trader, I would have booked my profits within this 2% only, because you can't go very long in intraday. आपको danger में डाल देगा, because anytime market reverses or trend reverses, you will only lose money. Sun Pharma, like we said, opened at 3.9% and OI was 2.5%. 9:30 OI was 3.9%, and this OI has increased, but 10:30 price has started declining a bit, of course, and OI also. That means, like I said, price was already up 4% up. So that means it is a risky bet, and we saw sliding it little down. So this is not my ideal bullish pick. So is now If you see Ujjivan, like I said, it was negative 1.9%. Then OI was 1.6%. 9:30 a.m. it went down little, recovered 1.6%, but OI increased. 10:30 a.m. it went down another 1%, 1.5%, and OI also increased. So Ujjivan, again, I would have booked my profit in like 1 hour, 9:18 a.m. to 9:30 between. I would have booked my profit, and I would have come out of my intraday trades. NCC, let's see how it performed. NCC, negative long unwinding. Here we see some recovery. Again it went down. Federal Bank, it saw some recovery, but Federal Bank went down to 2.4%. So the intraday I would have booked my profit because Federal Bank also has a huge lot size. So these two were long unwinding. If anybody would have, take any risky player who understands these two stages, if somebody would have taken, they would have made minimum profits and would have come out. Cipla, like it was a short covering pick. It was, price was up, OI was down. It was same also at 9:30, but 10:30 a.m. we see price going down negative 1%, and OI has also gone positive. That means short covering, it was sideways move and it has changed the trend now and it is into the negative zone. So this is how it has performed. So anybody, anything you want to ask? Sir, in Nifty, Bank Nifty, you have option to buy weekly expiries. In stocks, it has to be only monthly expiries. Cipla, sir, like you can see, it was a short covering pick at 9:18 a.m. 9:30 also, it is still the same. No major changes in data. But 10:30 a.m. you see that price has come down and OI has gone. That means from short covering, it has now getting into bearish grip. That means it intraday we could have gone for a sell in Cipla. So Nifty, Bank Nifty, of course, we'll do one thing. We'll just open NSE site and we'll discuss Nifty, Bank Nifty for Monday. Of course, we will. So this is again, suppose somebody has not booked the profit at 10:30 also. So 2:30, towards the day end, let's see how the stocks had performed. Reliance, if you can see, it was 4% again up. It opened, this is the NSE side like I've showed you. So previous close was this, or this has opened here. High made was this, low made was this. So that means a bullish pick was completely right. Ujjivan, it went to, I mean, negative 4%. When we had to choose, it was only 1.5%. So if anybody would have stayed till market end, they would have gained more than 2%. Previous close was this, it opened here. If you see open and high was same, that means it didn't make any attempt to go up. That means, and it went down to 240 levels. If you remember, our support was at around 240 zones for Ujjivan. That means that we very well touched our support zones as well. So it was a very perfect bearish pick for us. NCC, let's see how it performed. NCC, it closed previously here, it opened close by, it made a high of this. That means it attempted this high, but it went down here. So intraday, if anybody, it was a long unwinding pick. That intraday anybody would have aram say entered the trade, made some profit and come down. Sir, somebody is asking, Mr. Somya Ranjan, you're asking about stop losses. Sir, intraday, always remember, if you are expecting a gain of 1 to 2%, please make sure that the risk reward is always about 2:1 ratio, or else it doesn't make sense. So Cipla, like you can see, we discussed Cipla was, it previously closed at 672. It opened a little high. It went also a little high, like because it was a short covering stage at the initial, if you remember. Then it went to 650 zones. If you remember our option chain, our support was at around 650. So we went very close to 650 zones, and it changed the pattern. It went from short covering to bearish. So this is how. So in that regards, again, all these calls you get it where you get in PL derivatives. We practice daily calls such as futures and options. Time frame for mostly all my calls are intraday or max T plus one, like BTST or something. And rate of returns, like I was telling you, 1% to 2%, and the risk reward one. We also come out with weekly calls, and the returns that we aim is at around 3 to 5%. Risk reward here is 3 to 1%. And options also we practice. We have many option strategies based on indices, mainly on monthly expiries. Rate of return 8% to 10%. We also come out with specific elections or maybe event based strategies also to benefit. So these are few calls that we practice. So this is one thing, please everybody pay attention to. PL derivatives, expiry trades. In PL, we I practice one very famous kind of a call, that is which I name it as hero or zero trade. It is only on indices, particularly Nifty, and it is practiced on every weekly expiry, every Thursday. So what happens, my main aim is there to come out with very low premium strikes. Let's say be Nifty 11,200, and if it is Thursday, I would like to pick up trades 11,300 or 350 call strike, which would be quoting at around 3 4 rupees, or 11,000 put also, which would be quoting around 2 3 rupees. So I try to pick such uh strikes, of course understanding the direction, so that we all make profits. So what happens, it's you pay very low premium, 3 rupees, let's say for Nifty lot size is 75 rupees. 3 into 75, it is nothing, you just pay 225 rupees. Even if you lose, it doesn't matter. But if that 3 rupees becomes 50 rupees, then you gain a lot. So this is one very religiously practice every Thursday weekly expiry such calls. And strategy also we practice. So this is the PL derivatives performance till now. It's been 1 year performance that I'm showing here. Success ratio has been 70%, and the hero zero success ratio, like I said, from April, I've given more than 19 calls. 12 calls are successful, 7 calls have eroded, because we don't practice any stop loss here because premiums are very low, and the success ratio have been 65%. So this is the all the total number of calls, profitable calls, loss calls, net results. In July till now, I've given more than 83 calls, out of which 63 calls are successful ones. 20 calls I've hit my stop loss or booked loss, and the net results is more than 3 lakhs that we are showing you. And just to show you, these are few of the highlighted trades. Yeah, like I said, every day we come out with indices calls also and stock options calls, also 3 to 4 calls, and it comes as into Telegram, into Odin, or into anything like SPL derivatives. So in 2 months, I've given in indices approximately 40 calls, out of which 30 calls are profitable ones, 10 calls have hit stop loss, and returns more than 1 lakh plus only in indices, that is Nifty and Bank Nifty, which are mostly intraday, hardly any BTST or something, mostly intraday. So intraday in 2 months also, if anybody would have invested with all my calls in indices only, would have made more than a lakh. Apart from that, these are few stocks that I'm showing. In July, Reliance have been following very religiously. If you see, from 24th June, when Reliance was quoting at 1760, my target was that time 1900 on 24th June. Of course, I hit my stop loss first, but then from that, if you see, I have given repeatedly many times Reliance, and stock has from 1760 to now moved above like 2150 now. And in only Reliance, I have generated a profit of more than 1 lakh in this month, only Reliance, following my religiously my OI data. Other intraday profitable calls, highlighter was Wipro. I gave it on 14th July. and 16,000 we made intraday. JSW Steel, positional matlab, hardly just one night. It was mostly more like a BTST. We generated, 14, 15,000. June also, I was following SBI very religiously and garnered quite good profits. And May, particularly Bharti Airtel was one of my very favorite pick at that time. And one single call, we went a positional one and we generated more than 1 lakh profits. So this is how we practice. And I would also share you this. Like I was saying, hero zero expiry trade. So the kind of returns that we see. At one time, I had given 94.50 call at 11 rupees. It was, and it went up to 42, gaining more than 400%. And it was recently only, when I gave this 10,000 call at 4.5 and it touched high of 108. Actually, the returns were approximately 2,400%. So hero zero is, very less investment and huge profit upside. So this is how we do. So any query, we are open for discussion now. Any query, please do ask. We can have a discussion now. Okay, we will do one thing. Let's do one thing. I'm getting a lot of requests, just to show one live entry. Let's see. Okay, I'll open up one page for you all to, open up. Is everybody seeing the screen? Everybody visible? Okay, see, this is what I was saying. Just tell me. Let's discuss Bank Nifty now. Any other particular stock also, if you want, like we can discuss couple of. See, this is the NSE side, like I said. Okay, we go here, and I want to do Bank Nifty. So I filter here. I go here, and I type Bank Nifty. So here I get Bank Nifty. So now let the page open. We'll discuss the option pane. Like I said, you see, this is the kind of page we get. And here is the option chain. Option chain page. So here we get the option page. See? So Bank Nifty quoting at around 22,600 now. Let's see what it is likely to go in on Monday. So if you see Bank Nifty, we have our maximum put built up at. Can anybody tell me at what strike we have? This is live data. Let's make it an interactive one. Bank Nifty, can anybody tell me where's the support now? 22,000, correct. Correct. So, and resistance? Correct. So, the range is very clear. Bank Nifty quoting at 22,600 now. Our upside is capped at 23,000 and support we have at 22,000. So in this case, if you have to make a decision on a Monday to trade in Bank Nifty, what would you do? I would take it, in a different way. I would see that, I have an upside of only 350 points from here. So because if it goes to 22,000, now it is quoting at 20 to 650. So 350 rupees upside. But if it goes down to my support zones, that is 22,000, that is 650 points down. So it is not a profitable call right now to go bullish, neither bearish, neither bearish. So it is better, like somebody is writing to sell, Mr. Vijay, yes, to sell around 23,000 zones, yes, or you wait, because if market is positive, then don't never go against the trend. If market is positive, then just wait, for a while to come little down, maybe 20 to 500 or 400 or 300, then you buy for a target of 23,000. So this is how you can approach. Any other stock that anybody wants me to, see here? Titan. Okay, let's see Titan, Biocon. Okay, let's see where we will discuss couple here. Yes, IndusInd Bank, of course, we will. Nifty also. Let's see. Okay, see here. What do we see? Where is Titan heading? Titan support is at, let's say, 1000 zones, and resistance is at 1100. And Titan is quoting at 1057. So it is completely midway. So what do we see? One way to interpret here is that, if you see call side, highest is at 1100, followed by 10,080 and 10,060. That means many people have started building on the call side, and call side matlab, we know it is bullish. People buy call options when they're bullish. People buy put options when they're bearish. And bearish, if you see, it is at 10,000 zones, sorry, 1,000 zones, and not anywhere significant other data has been happening. That means that if it falls from here, it will go to straight 1,000. But if it, goes from here, it will touch 1100. So, my second highest OI is here at 10,040 zones, 30 zones. So what I would do is I would pick my, if I am a buyer, I would have a stop loss at around 1030, not more than that, and my target would be 1100. If or else I would like to see if around 1100 I can sell. IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank is support at, we have at 500, and resistance at 550, followed by 600, and the stock is trading at around 520. So of course stop loss is a nearby, and target is 550. So we are into the profitable, I mean the bullish zone, the bullish zone. So I would be a buyer in the thing, then with my stop loss of 500, and target would be 550 to 600. So I hope I have answered most of the queries. If anything else, please do definitely ping me. You can get in touch with me in my WhatsApp, and of course I will now tell you where to get the calls. This is where we get the calls: in Odin PL mobile app, Telegram channel is this PL India Online. We have our dedicated WhatsApp groups, email also. So anything if you are a client to us, this is where you get a client, get our calls. So apart from this, there are many other indicators and many other strategies, option strategies and all. So that will take again a very, very big session. So for now, this is what we have, and we conclude here. I hope I was clear enough today to help you pick winning trades, in intraday. Any support or query you have, we can always get in touch with me, and we will try to resolve. So I conclude here. Thank you so much.